Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this section, Section 4B, for bands which cannot take part in the championships proper. It's an opportunity for them to perform music of their own choice on a concert platform before a live and hopefully appreciative audience. And welcome too to the Scottish Brass Band Association YouTube staff who are transmitting these performances. 3 bands will be performing in this section. These are Clackmannan District Youth and Development Band, Brass Central Strathearn, and Forfar Instrumental. And may I remind you that because there are young players in the bands, there must be no filming, photographing, or recording of any kind for any reason of any of the bands. Thank you very much. Our adjudicator for this section is David Hamilton. David, you are in position and ready? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, band number 1 is now at stage side, and would you please give them a very warm welcome. This is the Clackmannan District Youth and Development Band. Okay, band number 1 is now on stage and will begin its performance by playing a piece called The Journal of Phileas Fogg, composed by Peter Graham. Now, the novels by Jules Verne have been a rich source of inspiration for composers over the years, and Peter Graham has taken elements of this epic work around the world in 80 days as the outline for a series of adventures recorded in an imaginary diary by the hero of the story, Phileas Fogg. The Journal of Phileas Fogg was commissioned by Dr. Nicholas Childs for the National Children's Brass Band of Great Britain and was first performed by them in July 2012, conducted by Dr. Robert Childs. And the piece was also used as the 3rd section regional test piece for the 2016 National Champions. The Journal of Phileas Fogg. Thank you very much, Clark Manning. Yes. Well, we will await the arrival of the next band to perform, which will be Brass Central Strathearn. And we'll just see if they're here. Ready? Not yet. Just be a moment or two before they're here. Is our adjudicator ready for the next band? Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, next on is Brass Central Strathearn. Would you please give them a warm welcome? Well, Brass Central Strathearn will open their programme with a well-known march, the Florentine March. Julius Fučík was a Czech composer and conductor who wrote over 400 marches, polkas and waltzes, and he is mostly known for two pieces: the entry of the Gladiators, best known as circus clown music, and the Florentine March. And the arrangement we are going to hear today is for brass by Rob J. Hume. Over to you, Mr. Conductor. Is entitled For a Friend. For a Friend is a piece by Scottish composer Alan Fernie. Alan is originally from Newton Grange and studied trombone at the Royal Academy. He is best known now for his many compositions and arrangements. For a Friend is a lyrical folk music-inspired melody infused with Scotch snaps, and the score is inscribed with the words, "Regards to G. Robin Henderson, Esquire, of Caithness." Is our adjudicator ready? Our adjudicator is ready. Over to you, Mr. Conductor. Ladies and gentlemen, band number 3 in this section are about to come onto the stage. Would you give them a warm welcome, please? And would you give a warm welcome to the band's conductor, please? So, band number 3, as you see, is Forfar Instrumental Band. Is our adjudicator ready? He is ready. So the band are going to open their programme with a piece called Die Blasmusik spielt auf, which in translation means the band plays on. This is an opening march arranged by Sandy Smith, and it suggests very much a Bavarian beer hall with an oompa band playing on stage. Over to you, Mr. Conductor. And the band's second piece is from the film Beauty and the Beast. A lovely arrangement by Edward Mylechreest of the main theme from the Disney film featuring the first baritone player, Rosie Chamberlain. Is our adjudicator ready? Our adjudicator is ready. Over to you. And the band will now move on to more film music, to 2 movie blockbusters, taking us from Indiana Jones to the Pirates of the Caribbean in an exciting arrangement by Cameron Maben. Is our adjudicator ready? Our adjudicator is ready. Over to you, Mr. Conductor. And finally, to round off their performance, the band will play a piece entitled Lion of Strathmore. This piece by Alan Fernie was commissioned by the band to mark its 125th anniversary last year. This is only its second public performance. Is our adjudicator ready? He is ready. Over to you. Well, thank you, Bertha. And there will now be a break to rearrange the stage, and then there will be a short concert by the band of the Royal Regiment of Scotland before the results of the Section 4B and the fourth section are announced. So we'll be back to you very, very quickly. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. There will now be a short concert by the Band of the Royal Regiment of Scotland before the results for the 4th section and Section 4B are announced. Please welcome them on stage.
Is this on? It is on. Marvellous. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Colour Sergeant David Hamilton. I'm the Assistant Bandmaster of the Band of the Royal Regiment of Scotland. And today we've brought our brass 10-piece just to give the adjudicators a little bit of time to chat about the fourth section and hopefully give you a little bit of entertainment as you try and get Hungerford Town out of your head for the first time in probably 3 months. We opened, I'm sure you're all familiar with that piece, we opened with a little cut-down arrangement of fanfare and flourishes. We're going to go on and feature a beautiful melody. You'll have played the Elgar Howarth arrangement of this in your bands, I'm absolutely certain. It's an old Great American songbook chart called Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair, and I'm sure you'll all know the Elgar Howarth arrangement, which was for euphonium. This one for brass 10-piece here has been arranged by Roger Harvey, and it features the trombone. It's a beautiful, beautiful arrangement, and we have a fantastic player who's been with the band for about 6 months to play it for you. So this is going to feature the wonderful Sergeant Tom Challoner on trombone. This is Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair. So we've been delighted to be sort of working with the Scottish Brass Band Association over the last few months, to try and build a bit of a connection between what we do. Of course, in Edinburgh, where we're based, we're a wind band. We're 44 strong, but we thought we wouldn't have the right audience, I think, to bring all of our 9 clarinet players to come over. But, we get to do lots of this kind of stuff. We get to do lots of brass quintet and lots of 10-piece and things like that. And from the end of January, we performed to some of the delegates at the AGM and the Learning Festival. I spoke on the Youth Speaks podcast very recently, and it sort of culminates this afternoon in this concert, and then later on with our full fanfare team for the championship section results as well. So it's really good that we're kind of building that link. I thought we have one more piece for you, and it wouldn't be right if we didn't play a march. I think some of these folks have been in the band for years and years and haven't done a single concert where they wouldn't have played one march. So we have an absolute cracker for you, a very famous Sousa march that you'll all know and love. You may have a little picture of Monty Python at some point as you go through this. This is the Liberty Bell.
of this competition, could I please have a representative from each of the 4th section bands and from the 4B bands on stage, please. Okay. I understand the mic not have been working, so can I ask a representative from each band, both in the 4th section and in the 4B section, to make their way to the stage ready for the presentation. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our platform party is due to enter now. Would you please welcome the President of the Scottish Brass Band Association, Carrie Bowles. And the Education Officer of the Scottish Brass Band Association, John Bowles. And our two adjudicators for the 4th section today, Dr. Brett Baker and David Ashworth. And David Hamilton of the Band of the Royal Regiment of Scotland. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before the announcement of the results, can I ask that we take just a short time to remember one of our brass band community who sadly passed away 1 year ago today after being fatally injured in a traffic accident. That person was Beth Damer of the Colburn Brass Band family, and I recall vividly the sense of disbelief which we who were in this concert hall at the time felt as the news of Beth's death began to slowly filter through to us. Now, 1 year on, it has been considered appropriate that members of the Colburn Brass family should have the opportunity to pay tribute to Beth. And I read to you now some words of tribute and appreciation prepared by members of the band. It reads, "1 year ago today, we lost Beth Damer. Beth was an integral part of the Colburn Brass Band family and sadly passed away following a car accident. Beth would have been 22 next week. Beth's family, friends, and the Colburn Band have been remembering Beth over the past 12 months, and over £13,000 has been raised for charity, a sum which has been split between Dementia UK, Alzheimer's Scotland, and the NHS Lanarkshire Endowment Fund, charities which were close to Beth's heart. Money has also been donated to Break, the road safety charity. Fundraising has included a concert for Beth, a night of music that members of the Colburn Brass Band family will never forget. Beth's ball also took place, where an auction and raffle helped to raise much fund. The Colburn organisation have recently presented the first Beth Damer Memorial Award to their bronze band coordinator, Debbie Court, and an award in Beth's honour will also be presented for the first time at the summer course of the National Youth Brass Bands of Scotland. If you are able, would you please stand and join us for a minute's applause as we remember Beth. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. We will now continue with the awards ceremony. And I would ask the SABA Education Officer, John Boakes, to please come and speak to us about Section 4B.
Thank you, Robert. I hope you've had a great day today. The fourth section were brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed all of the performance. What a great test piece. I just thought I'd say that. I really enjoyed it. The 4B section is a project that SABA have been running to give bands who do not compete the chance to come and play in this wonderful hall, and also to savour the atmosphere and hopefully to stay and listen to the top section bands and to aspire to something that they can hear this afternoon. I think it's been a great afternoon of playing from the 4B section, and thanks to all of them, to their bands, supporters, mums and dads, whole families, because I know that they practice just as hard as the competing bands, but they enjoy it. So well done to the 4B section. The other thing I want to talk about quickly is our National Youth Brass Band. We are now at 140 applications for the summer course. We've still got spaces, so if you would like to come, you can find the application form on the SABA website. And also we have an Easter course, which runs from the 11th to the 14th of April. The summer course is the 31st of July to the 5th of August. 2 things to look out for. Today you might have seen some ambassadors as well walking about helping. Those are young people who are involved in NIBS and are now helping our SABA volunteers to do some of the duties that happen during these weekends. The Army Band, did you really enjoy that? I thought that was amazing. I think they need another round of applause. So the band of the Regiment of Scotland is led by, I'm going to call him a young man. I've known him for some time. His name is David Hamilton, and I remember meeting him at Gretna Services when he was a tiny little boy, and he said to me that he played a brass instrument, and I've always remembered that. He's a bit bigger now, and I think maybe all adjudicators should wear this uniform. Isn't that amazing? So David agreed to come and do our 4B section, so I now have the pleasure of asking him to come and tell you his thoughts on what he thought of the playing. So, David.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody. What a great thing the 4B section is, first of all. Why doesn't everyone do that? It's just, it makes so much sense to get you guys the experience of playing in a fantastic hall like this, because we've got one of the better venues, anyone that's travelled around the areas. What a fantastic thing, and to give you the opportunity to work in a programme and share it with people that actually want to listen to it, and really supportive sort of environment. It's fantastic, and thanks to John. We've been working a little bit over the last couple of months, as I mentioned before, if you were in for the concert. And so to be asked to come and do this, to kind of wrap it all up for the first part of this year has been great. So we had 3 fantastic performances, and the good thing about adjudicating this section is I can actually talk just a tiny little bit about each of the bands as well, by name. So first of all, we had Clackmannan and District Youth and Development. Are you in here somewhere? 3 of you, good. Do when I got handed the big pile of scores, I wasn't expecting to see a 3rd section national finals test piece. But what an amazing job you did of that. I'll just read a couple of the little comments that I made, but the first thing that got me, I sort of didn't know what to expect. I haven't been to the 4B section before. And from the word go, the opening that score, I thought, blimey, this is a band that can really play. It was balanced, it was in tune, it was well thought about. There was some really, really great playing. I know it's a bit rich coming from me, but I did write, I think twice in your crit, that you could let your hair down a little bit. Because you played so controlled at times, and I just wanted to run on the stage and just get the volume button and just go, just give us a little bit of something, because you played with such kind of refined way, but it was super, super enjoyable. What I particularly liked about your bands and about your performance, and this is something that the 2 gentlemen in the box later on listening to Red Priest, they'll be going for the same thing. They want bands that can change the sound. They want bands that can find character. They want bands that can stretch that range. And it's no different in 4B, and it's no different at the European Championships. That's kind of what we want. And you got to, I think there's a bit called Moscow in the piece, and when you were during there, and you changed the sound like that, and it was velvety, and it was dark, and it was chocolatey, and I thought that's really, really encouraging. So congratulations on a fantastic performance. A big congratulations to your conductor, who I thought was like sort of grabbing sort of bits and out of the performance and really sort of with you every step of the way. So a big congratulations to you, and if we could have the representative from Clackmannan up, and a huge round of applause for their efforts this morning. Okay, we had Brass Central Strathern second. Are you here somewhere? Oh, yeah, another 3. That's great. I loved your programme. The amount of character that you got straight away in the Florentina March, which we all know and love, and almost maybe not risky to play it, but everyone knows it, and you come in and we're all expecting certain things. But I thought you played with such great character from the very off. Did you have? I can't quite remember. Did you have 1 or 2 tubas up at the back there? But what a sound in the bass section! I've obviously played here yesterday, and I played in the thing there. If I could fill the hall like you pair did, I'd be quite happy. That was a really great effort. You played a piece by Alan Fernie entitled "For a Friend." Now, Alan, you are down here. Was that in Scott's Miscellany? Was that it's the middle movement of that? I thought so. The second that tune started, I was taken back to being in either Harrogate or Cheltenham or something. A beautiful melody, and hats off to your solo cornet player who played that. But hats off as well to the band who accompanied so sensitively throughout that. I thought it was fab, and again, something that we should do, no matter the standard of the band. And then, the piece you finished with, the country clam cake, what great fun, and you found such detail straight away in that. It really was such a great fun performance, and lots of little individual moments where players were really playing out of their skin. So thank you very much to Brass Central Strathern and to Tom Smith for conducting, and if we could have your representative now. And last up, we had Forfeit Instrumental. Wow. Straight away, I thought, what a sound that you created from the effort. But I have to say, where are you? Are you in the hall? Forfeit? Yeah. You're there somewhere. Is your baritone player here? I'm not very happy with you. You played so wonderfully and then didn't bow. So can we have a round of applause for what I thought was a magnificent solo? And if you're looking for a career in music, please come and see me afterwards. You played two things from some of our most favourite films, I think, arranged by Cameron Maben. Indiana Jones, I've written, and the two gentlemen adjudicating the fourth section will have been in this position before. I've written, I'm putting my pen down now, and just enjoying it. It had bags and bags of flavour. It was so tight together, and you never got bored of sort of looking for those little quiet dynamics and a bit of light and shade and a bit of contrast. So I really, really enjoyed that. A wonderful performance, a really nice band. You seem to have a lot of fun up there as well, and a fantastic soloist to boot as well. So if I could have the representative from Forfeit, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the adjudicators for the fourth section today were Dr. Brett Baker and David Ashworth. And I know that Dr. Baker is going to say a few words on behalf both himself and his colleague.
Good afternoon. The good news is it's only me speaking because both me and David have had a wonderful time yesterday and today, and David's very, very conscious of the time, so thought he'd get me to speak so that we'd save a bit of time. I thought you'd be happy with that. Obviously not. All right. Okay, so a really high standard of playing in this section, which is great. Couple of things to think about, and it's related to this fantastic hall. You really do not know how lucky you are. A lot of the other areas don't get to play in anything quite like this. And I think after years and years of perhaps even myself moaning at bands saying there's got to be a bigger difference between forte and fortissimo, funnily enough, David mentioned it earlier, you can give it a bit of welly now and again when it says 40. So yes, you want to keep that concept of a beautiful round sound, but I think bands in the fourth section are getting a little bit worried now about taking the lid off, and the 40s basically sound like MFs. When there's a fortissimo, you're showing it, which is great, but we just need to lift that forte dynamic a little bit. Well done to all the soloists. Some of the soloists would have gone, oh, that didn't quite go as well as planned. Guess what? There isn't any such thing as perfection in a performance. It doesn't happen, so I think we should give all the soloists a round of applause. It was great. This was David's first ever trip up to Scotland to be part of this, and I know he's had a wonderful time. He wanted me to say that, and it's been great working with him. He's absolutely been thrilled with the standard and in particular the organisation, because you have got a fabulous organisation up here in Scotland, so I think we should give them a round of applause as well. David asked me to mention a couple of things, mainly, and all the results and all the things we were chatting away as the performances took place, and we were all saying the same things, which is great. It's always good when that happens. Length of note. If it's a dotted crotchet, then that's 3 quavers worth. There were a couple of bands that were playing much shorter than that, and were playing in a detached way in some of the smoother sostenuto, legato, lento sections. So just thinking about that, and even if it's written staccato, remember staccato means detached, it doesn't mean necessarily short. And in a hall like this, you can do that. You can play a note and it's going to sound beautiful. So just try and think about the aspect of playing a little bit longer in some of those sections, particularly a lot of those fanfare type moments, the trombones at the beginning where they've got those opening statements. Tempo, just like with the third section that we judged yesterday, it's really important that you pick a tempo that you're going to be able to cope with. So a lot of bands were great with the opening tempos and the changes of tempos and the transitions, which is good, but have a think about what's coming up, because if you go a little bit too fast in one of the tempos and then you can't play the other bits because of a little bit of nervousness or excitement, which both are good, but in some cases then there was a little bit of unstableness as a result of the tempos just being a little bit quick. I've talked about dynamics, and so all I've got to say is that there are 2 bands that have absolutely deserve to qualify for the finals this year, but all the bands, I think it's fair to say, we were thrilled and really happy with the standard of performance. So keep up the good work, and we'd be very delighted to come back and listen to the progress in future years. Thank you very much.
And so to the results. The Scottish Brass Band Association Medal for the Best Instrumentalist goes to the euphonium player of the band which played number 7, Buckhaven, Brian Hyde. The Tommy Dennington Trophy for the youngest double B-flat bass player goes to Duncan Thau of Dundee Instrumental. In third place, receiving the Hugh P. Walker Memorial Trophy and £75, with 176 points, is the band which played number 3, Peeblesborough. In second place, receiving the George Johnston Tribute Trophy, £100 and an invitation to compete in the national finals in Cheltenham on 16th and 17th September, with 180 points, is the band which played number 2, Pennycook Band. And the winners, the Scottish fourth section champions for 2023, winning the Besson and Company Challenge Cup, £200, the Scottish Region Challenge Trophy, a medal for each member of the band, and the winner's banner, and an invitation to compete in the national finals in Cheltenham on 16th and 17th September, with 181 points, is the band which played number 10, Highland Brass. Can I just remind all band members that the adjudicators' sheets are over on the table at the left-hand side of the hall. Thank you very much. That concludes the fourth section for this year.